Hello and welcome everyone to Selective Preparation Power Thinking Skills. Today we are looking at test 42. There are 10 selected questions in this video. We are going to look through these questions and try and explain the solutions so that you can best understand how to solve them for next time. Let's get started with the first one. So this first question, which statement can be concluded from the case study below? The best way to solve this question is to use a quick table, okay? Nothing has to be perfect or pretty, but we are going to write them. We have mains, and then we have soups and drinks. And then we have A for Annabelle, S for Susan, and R for Ryan. Okay, so first, Annabelle did not choose fish and chips, and her main was different to Ryan's. From this information, let's look at the next one. Susan's choice was Caesar salad, so we know it's Caesar, okay? Ryan chose the same main as Susan, so Ryan also chose Caesar. And going back to the first one, Annabelle did not choose fish and chips, and it was different to Ryan's. So it's not Caesar, it's not fish and chips, it must be the cheeseburger. So because it's also a C, I'm just going to write CH for this one. Okay, and the next column we have soups. Annabelle says her main was, this one. She did not get the chicken soup, so she must have gotten the pumpkin soup, Annabelle. Susan had the same soup as Ryan. The Ryan had same as Annabelle, so all of them had pumpkin soup then. And the last thing is a drink. Annabelle had the same drink as Susan. Susan did not choose hot chocolate or the lemonade. So if she doesn't choose hot chocolate or lemonade, she must have had water. Annabelle had the same, and Ryan's drink was lemonade. Okay, so we have all of our columns filled out. Now let's go through the options. Which one can be concluded? First of all, A, Ryan had the Caesar and the chicken soup is incorrect. He had the pumpkin. Annabelle's main, she had the cheeseburger, is correct. But let's check the other ones. Annabelle and Susan had the same drink. Yes, they did. Which was the hot chocolate? No, it was water. Ryan dislikes hot chocolate. This one you can't tell. It's an assumption. So the answer is B. Okay, ordering. So this one, we want to do a quick list. Rattlers played before Pirates. So Rattlers before Pirates. Pirates played after the Rockets. We don't know where the Rockets go. We'll leave that one. That's the next one. Rattlers played after the Rockets. So the Rockets are on top of the Rattlers. And the Stingers played after the Pirates. So Stingers must go after Pirates. So in order from earliest to latest, it's C. Okay, so let's check it again. The Rattlers played after the Rockets. Yes. So C, we go Rockets, Rattlers. Oh, sorry. Should be B. Rockets, Rattlers, Pirates, and Stingers. Okay. Right, number 3, what is the underlying assumption? So we can see from the text that last season they averaged a score of 140 points per game. This season, because Captain Kevin did not play a single game, and he's the only player who was injured, they dropped a lot, okay, averaging only 75 points per game this season. So what are they trying to infer? What are they trying to get you to assume in this text? Well, they're trying to get you to assume that there is a connection, relationship between the captain not playing and the fact that the average score has dropped significantly. So that's why the answer here is C. Okay, A, B, and D, they all may be true. Okay, there may be things that are true, but we can't assume A, B, or D from the passage. The only thing that is indicated is Kevin's contributions to the points of the team. Okay, number 4, we want to see in the first pattern how it is moving, and then we apply it to our final pattern. First of all, we can see that this shape is rotating anti-clockwise and it's being placed along on top. And then the dots become grey. So you can cross out A straight away because the dots are black and grey. So when I rotate it anti-clockwise, it's going to lie on top. It'll look something like that. and we need 2 grey dots, so the answer is C. Sorry. The answer is B. Okay, my bad, sorry. I drew the correct shape, but we chose the wrong answer. So please don't do that. Make sure you are looking at the right one. We have an upside down one and one facing towards the left. The answer is B. Okay, number 5. So let's figure out the probabilities for both Alex and Brittany. So Alex picks up one marble, puts it back, and then picks out another. So we have 3 green and 4 blue. What is the chance of getting green for Alex? Okay, green for Alex and green for Brittany, actually. Or blue for, yeah, green and blue for both, okay? So Alex would have a chance. We have 3 green marbles initially. So 3 out of 7 times 3 out of 7 again, because we put it back, so it's going to be the same chance. And that is actually 9 out of 49. Now, Brittany, the first one's going to be the same, 3 out of 7. But if you picked out a green one, there's only going to be 2 green left and 6. Okay, so that is actually 6. Oh, we can cancel it out, but 6 out of 42. So if you compare them, you make them into decimals, you realize that Alex does have a higher chance. Okay, so Alex is correct. Now, Brittany, we're looking at blue marbles. So for blue, we have 4 out of 7 times 4 out of 7, which is 16 over 49. And for Brittany, it would be 4 out of 7 times 3 out of 6, because we drew 1 out, goes away from the blue pile as well as the total. We get 12 out of 42. So actually here, Alex has the better chance again. Okay, so Brittany is incorrect. So the answer is A. Only Alex is correct. Number 6, what is the flaw in the argument? Let's highlight the main argument. We know that therefore, our keyword, we can hypothesize that when the temperature outside drops, it is always because of the sun. The sun is not out and it's dark. So remember, this word always is a very big red flag, okay? Nothing or most things don't happen 100% of the time in this world. So we actually here have mistaken something called correlation for causation. So we were thinking that because the temperature outside drops when it's dark, that means every time the temperature drops, it must be because it's dark and because the sun's not out, which is not true, okay? For example, B, there may be other reasons other than the sun going down that the temperature will change. That is the flaw. So you can have a look at the solutions if you want some more detail. Number 7, we are listing again, we're comparing. Okay, so we have a number of offices available. The Mammoth is taller than the Colossus. So we have Mammoth and Colossus, M and C. Tallest building is next to the Black Tower. So that means the Black Tower is not the tallest. The Colossus is taller than Black Tower. The Black Tower is down here. And Center Spire is shorter than the Mammoth building. So we don't know where the Center Spire is, but it's somewhere shorter than Mammoth. So we know that we want the tallest, doesn't really matter. So A is the answer. Okay, the Mammoth building is the tallest. Okay, so question 8. Aliens cannot exist. If they exist, why have they not spoken to us humans? Which of the following is an assumption of the argument? So we say that because they haven't spoken to us humans, aliens cannot exist. That is the assumption that aliens can speak to humans. In other words, B. Okay, aliens can communicate. So you can have a read of the solutions as to why the other ones are wrong, but you can clearly see how B will link nicely to the provided assumption or provided link, okay? Right, question 9. So we have 6 children standing in an equally spaced circle. We're turning from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. in a clockwise direction. So number 2 stands between 1 and 3, and so on. Okay, and then we go into the changes. So we're going to try and change them in different colors so we can see which one stays. Okay, the smallest even number and the largest odd number change places. The 2 and the 5 will change, and this will become 5 and 2. The other 2 odd numbers then change places. 1 and 3 will change, 3 and 1. The 2 numbers which add together to make a total of 3 change places. So the only thing that can make 3 is 1 and 2, so they'll change. Finally, the 2 numbers that add up to 11 can change places, 6 and 5. So this will become 6 and 5. So it becomes 3, 6, 2, 4, 1, 5. The only one that did not change is number 4. It's still red. So option B is the answer. And our last question of today. Stop living in the past. Everything that once existed is old news. Tomorrow is full of possibilities and you may miss out. What is the best underlying assumption being made? So we focus on the main argument. It's to forget everything that once existed in the past and focus on tomorrow. So what is the underlying assumption? It's B. The future should be the focus, okay? Because it stems from what we have read here and what the speaker is kind of trying to say to the listeners, which is to focus on tomorrow. A, C, and D, these are all what we call extrapolations. They are kind of related to the given statement, but they are taking it too far, okay? They are saying things that even the speaker didn't say. So that's why B is the best answer. Okay, so we're doing some key points in the test. I want to emphasize that for logical thinking questions, okay, you need to construct some kind of organized data, okay, or organization for your data, okay. This may be a table or a list, okay, etc. Try and use abbreviations to speed up your working pace. Now we had a couple assumption questions, okay? You want to pay close attention to the main argument, okay, in the statement or paragraph. This will guide you to finding the main assumption in the question. So hopefully that video helped everyone, and until next week, please review those key points. I'll see you then.